Hi friend, this is Manoj Hemane, Assistant Professor and Head Department of English, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Art, Commerce and Science College, Sotri, Lohar. Please follow me on the YouTube channel and subscribe the channel to get daily notification about the lectures. In the last videos, we had discussed about the writer, the poet Robert Browning, and short introduction about the poem The Lost Leader. In this video, we will discuss about the explanation of the poem The Lost Leader. Okay, in the last videos, we had discussed the poem The Lost Leader is the Eld Attack of William Wordsworth by the poet Robert Browning. Through the poem in the form of writing poem, the poet Robert Browning attacked the famous poet William Wordsworth. Why he was attacked? Because William Wordsworth left the party, left the principle on which all the members, all the poets belonging to that era, and he was the leader. William Wordsworth was the leader, and that's why he had been attacked by the writer. The Lost Leader, the poem, can be seen as the lament for the betrayal of a cause by a man who once wholeheartedly supported it. Because the poet William Wordsworth was the leader and he was the main supporter of the thought, that principle, and the head man and the leader of that principle and leader of that movement left the party, left the movement for some money, for the power, and it caused it political liberalism. Once upon a time, Wordsworth was committed to the French Revolution because when the French Revolution started, when was French Revolution started? In 1789. At that time, he was the main leader of that principles of that movement. But as the years went by, जसं वेळ निघून गेलं तसं he became increasingly रिॲक्शन तसतसं त्याच्या माइंडमध्ये, त्याच्या तत्वांमध्ये बदल होत गेला. ब्राउनिंग रिगार्डेड दिस ॲज अ बिट्रियर. त्यानं स्वतःचे तत्व बदलवले. ज्या तत्वावर तो चालत होता त्याच्या मागोमाग जे इतर लोक चालत होते तो स्वतःच बदलला. अँड दॅट्स वाय ही द रायटर, द पोएट ब्राउनिंग कॉल्ड हिम द बिट्रेयर and citizens Wordsworth for these in the Lost Leader. And that's why in this poem the William Wordsworth, the writer, was criticized, and all the poets shows and express their laments on the betrayal of that person. Now see the poem. Just for a handful of silver he left us. In the first line, the poet Robert Browning says, what he says? Just for a handful of silver. Here handful of silver means for the money, for some money, for some power. He has left them. Us means the writer, the poet of that era, of that movement, of that group, just for a ribbon to stick in his coat, found the one gift of which fortune bereft us. Lost all the others, he lays us devote, they with the gold to give doled him out silver. So much was there who so little allowed. How all our copper had gone for his service. Rags were that purple. His heart had been proud. We that had loved him so, followed him, honored him, lived in his mild and magnificent eyes, learned his great language, got his clear accents, made him our pattern to live and to die. Shakespeare was of us, Milton was for us, Burns, Shelley were with us, they was from their graves. He alone breaks from the van and the freeman. He alone sings to the real and the slaves. We shall march prospering, not who his presence. Song means spirit us, not from his lyre. Deed will be done while he boards his quenches, still bidding crows whom the rest bid aspire. Blot out his name, then record one lost soul more, one task more declined, one more footpath untrod, one more devil storm and sorrow for angels, one wrong more to man, one more insult to God. Life's night begins, let him never come back to us. There would be doubt, hesitation, and pain. Force praise on our part, the glimmer of twilight, never glad, confident, more again, morning again. Best fight on veil, for we taught him strike gallantly, menace our heart, ere we master his now own. Then let him receive the new knowledge and wet us, pardoned in heaven, the foes by the throne. This is the poem. Here the poet thought and poet expressed his powerful feeling and the hatred in his mind about the poet William Wordsworth. He directly not attacked on the poet William Wordsworth. The attack is hidden in the form of poem. He trying to tell his listener about the poet William Wordsworth. And here what he says, just for a handful of silver he left us. Here in the first line, on the first line at the beginning, he says, just for the handful of silver. Here silver means the money, the power. He just wanted here the poet William Wordsworth, the leader. Here in the title mentioned the lost leader. In this poem, the lost leader means the poet William Wordsworth. And in the first line, the Robert Browning, the writer, the poet Robert Browning also says that William Wordsworth has left them. Means in that moment there are a poet, Shakespeare, Burns, Shelley, Milton's, all these poets, and the leader of that poets was William Wordsworth, and he left them for some money, for some powers, and who create the ideas, who creates the principle of that movement after the French Revolution 1789. He formulate the principle in English society, in English writing of literature, and the promoter and the leader of that movement left that movement, and that's why all the members of that movement express their wrath to the poet William Wordsworth, just for a ribbon to stick in his coat. Here, the poet William Wordsworth just let the party, let the movement, and change his thought and change the principle of living just for a ribbon to stick in his coat. Means just he left the party, left the movement, left the thought, left the principle of that movement just for the sake of the money, the power. Found the one gate of which fortune bereft us here. जाऊ द्या म्हणत आहे. गेला तर तो जाऊ द्या. त्याचे दुःख करत बसलं, त्याचा विचार करत बसलं तर आपण सुद्धा त्या मुवमेंट पासून वेगळे होऊ. फाउंड द वन गिफ्ट ऑफ विच फॉर्च्यून बिरेव्ड अस. तो गेल्यामुळे आम्हाला एक फॉर्च्यून, एक आमचं नशीब पुन्हा चमकलं म्हणताय. लॉस्ट ऑल द अदर्स सी लेव्स अस डिओट. आणि आपल्यामधून कोणीतरी ड्युटी निर्माण होणार. एक प्रकारचा आम्हाला तशा प्रकारची एक प्रकारचा पॉवर, एक प्रकारचा ताकद मिळणार. अशा प्रकारचं दे with the gold to give doled him out silver, and where he went on, जिथं तो गेलाय म्हणत आहे तिथं काय, he just went for the gold and silver, means power, money. So much was there who so little allowed. हे छोटंसं सोडून थोडंसं होतं, पण त्याचं स्वतःचं होतं, पण ते स्वतःचं सोडून तो इतरांचं प्राप्त करण्यासाठी इथून निघून गेलाय. Here the poet Robert Browning expressed a strong feeling in nervous and in hatred. Okay, the rest of the poem we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.